What's up, everybody? This is HOA coming back to you with another episode. Tonight, we have a special guest for you, donning the championship robes, coming to you, standing at an amazing 5'6" and 5'8", weighing in at an earth-shattering 154.5, the Staten Stumper, Kid Kenzie.
Yeah, we here. We are here. It's a different time. The champ is here, y'all. It's Himsy. It's my era. The Staten Stumper's coming for it all. Let's go, y'all. Let's go.
Amazing introduction for our reigning podcast champion, Kid Kenzie. Amazing, amazing, amazing. How are you today, man?
Oh, man. All right. Let me connect this real quick.
This is what it's all about, folks.
What was the question?
How are you? Hell of an introduction for you today.
You know, I'm feeling like a champ. Been running up some hills these past few days.
Yeah.
Just been getting back in the groove of things, getting warm outside. There's been quite a few people who question my skills in one-on-ones. Got to get back in peak shape.
Yeah.
5'7", could dunk. Same like, upper echelon Muggsy Bugs athlete. Just if Kentucky returned a few emails, probably would have been on 2K by now.
That's fair. Totally fair. I'm surprised they never emailed you back.
That's what I'm saying.
Kenzie, this has been spawned on by you going to see Creed 3. How'd you like it? Tell me a little bit about the movie. I went and saw it. I'll tell you how I felt after you tell me.
Just prior to like 2-3 weeks ago, I haven't watched any of the Rockies, any of the Creeds. Yeah. I still haven't seen any of the Rockies, but I saw the first 2 Creeds on Friday. Then after that, I was like, yeah, I got to go see this movie. And I think it was really well, because, it's always hard to even we see this with Marvel sometimes, just to bring in a quote unquote villain or antagonist for that movie, make you care about him, set up a good story, and then execute it. I think they did it really good. It wasn't just one giant flashback lore dump. It was we got bits and pieces throughout the movie. And you could just feel they really put a lot into that final fight. When it was just them in the ring, Kakashi Obito style.
Yes.
Yeah, they did a great job with that.
Like you just said, it was a really, really well done movie. I gave it an 8 out of 10. I thought it was awesome. Dame was a believable villain.
Yeah.
They made him fight a style of fighting that could compete with heavy, with great fighters. Jonathan Majors, the guy who plays Dame, is just a really believable villain. Mm-hmm. He's got subtleties to his face. He's got mannerisms that make you think this guy's dangerous. This guy could hurt somebody. And then Michael B. Jordan he's just perfect for the baby Creed.
And I don't know much about boxing styles, but you could tell the contrast between them. Whenever Damien or Majors would go in, it wasn't a normal it's almost like street fighting boxing style, but you could tell because he spent 18 years in prison. So it's much more of a brawler than a technical.
And then with his power and stuff, they were kind of giving you the Mike Tyson vibe, he push you out. But more of a brawler, less technical. And that was what really helped Damien win the fight at the end, was he was able to pick apart some of that and beat him down with body shots and things like that. Mm-hmm. You mentioned the anime references. We got a lot of Naruto, but I don't think it was too much. How did you feel about some of the ways they touched on it? The double punch, it didn't linger too long. You didn't get some of the extras that you do in anime. I thought the anime stuff was well done. I liked the 2 men in the arena like Kakashi and Obito.
Right.
The double punch, the callback to Vegeta and Goku and Naruto and Sasuke.
Yeah, and even the gut punch being a major thing.
Yeah, the over-exaggerated gut punch from Dragon Ball Z, but it didn't stay too long. You got the phone, the mouthpiece spit kind of thing, and then it moved on to the next part.
Right.
Do you think what was your favorite little anime touch that they gave?
Definitely when it was just them two in the ring, because at that point it was just one-on-one, hands in the yams, let's go. I probably when I heard Kakashi Obito, I thought it was gonna flash back to them fighting as kids, but I was you can't do that live action. That's probably a bit too hard.
That probably would have been hard to do, and like the heavyweight fight of the world, like because
Yeah.
it would just take so much time. Because really, if you think about it, they kind of had like a miniature time skip in rounds. Like all of a sudden we were in
Yeah,
round 12.
You had the cage, and then like you had the sandbag in the corner.
Right.
Yeah.
So we got a like a miniature time skip, so it would have been hard to like add in even more to that scene.
Yeah. Like I thought, like when one of them went for a punch, it would be the kid actor. Then I was like, that's probably very hard to do.
Yeah, I would assume that would have been tough. So yeah, overall, Creed 3, really good movie. What would you give it out of 10?
Yeah, like a clean like 8.5.
Okay.
It's probably if I had, is it my favorite out of the 3? That's tough because I really, really enjoyed 1, but 2 probably has my favorite scene out of everything. Like when the ref was like, "What's your name, Creed? What's your name, Creed?"
Yeah,
that was probably my favorite moment out the trilogy, outside of like of course the Kakashi Obito thing.
Yeah. I think 3 was really good. I think 1 was overall better. I think the fighting has gotten better as they've gone along.
Mm-hmm.
But I think I'm going to still give it to 1 as my favorite overall. Kinsey, that's enough about Creed 3. We introduced you as the champion. You're the reigning champ of the podcast world. Let's get into something that is really affecting you and your fandom. Aaron Rodgers, it seems like it's official. They're working on the compensation.
Yeah.
How do you feel about your new starting quarterback?
I really like it. Of course, it's going to be a huge upgrade. Like I'm finally going to have like some competent, like elite quarterback play. The only thing that's getting me a bit tight is like all the quote unquote demands he's making, even though he said some of them are false. And it's just like, you made us wait like 2-3 days and you announced it on your show. Like you're just making it be a circus. So I could tell how the season's going to be. Like if we ever go on like a 2-3 game losing streak, he's going to be on some, oh yeah, it's different than Green Bay. Then it's just like, of course, I'm excited to have Aaron Rodgers. I expect playoffs, but I just hope he tones down like the diva personality a bit.
Right. And that's totally fair. I mean, the problem with that is like you instantly brought in a guy who is your best quarterback in your franchise history based off his resume. I understand he hasn't done anything for New York. He's not Joe Montana like in New York, but as a player, he's better than Joe Montana ever was. He's the best quarterback to ever have. So I feel like you got to have some give and take with that. But like, you're not even officially on the roster and you have a list of demands. That's kind of wild. Yeah. And for like you guys to go out and sign Lazard right as that rumor came out, like it makes it feel like it was legitimate. Yeah. Like that added like credence to the whole point.
Yeah, like I understand Lazard. He's like a good player.
He's gonna be your guys' number 3. That's kind of crazy. Like that's a really good number 3.
Yeah, and then you got Cobb. Okay, that's your guy, some repertoire. But Mercedes Lewis, what are we doing?
I mean, I guess it's just like a security blanket, but at the same time, like, bro, we got you Lazard. If they bring in Cobb, like, you're starting to fill out your wide receiver room, and you guys already had a really good start to wide receiver. So I'm confused. Like, shouldn't you be like, hey, Garrett Wilson, hey, Moore, what's the name? Moore? Elijah Moore. Let's go down somewhere warm and let's get started working out. Like we're already worried about, I don't know. It just feels like Rodgers needs to lock in. Let's make this New York thing work because you guys have a crazy high potential right now.
Yeah, and those smug answers he gives the Green Bay media, like he will be on every newspaper daily if he tries that.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be a completely different media whirlwind. I'm gonna give you my hot take for the NFL season already. I already put a bet in. I've got the New York Jets winning the East this year. I hope that jinxes you guys, but I put money on it, so I kind of hope it doesn't.
I mean,
that's my hot take.
It's either going to be us or Buffalo. I think the Pats, they're going to muddle around like 6 to 8 wins, 8 being very generous. Miami depends on Tua. If Tua is there, over 10. If not, like under 8.
Yeah.
And then you have Buffalo, who even though they lost a few key defensive pieces, they still got Diggs, still got Allen, still got White and all them. Von Miller coming back.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like Buffalo is getting worse while you guys are getting better, and that's only a good sign for you guys.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my hot take for the week. I really think you guys have a good chance this coming year. Has there been any moves in free agency that have surprised you yet?
Waller to the Giants surprised me because you bought in Jimmy G, so I'm assuming like you're not trying to tank. So why would you get rid of like one of your best offensive weapons?
And like, I guess him and the coach just didn't see eye to eye because just things that have come out recently.
Yeah.
But Darren Waller, if he's healthy,
yeah, he's a top 5 tight end.
Like, I feel like Daniel Jones goes from 15 passing touchdowns to 18 passing touchdowns.
Yeah,
like that's a big jump for Daniel Jones. But Darren Waller is a physical freak.
Yeah.
Like you're putting him like that just makes the job easier for like Slayton and some of those other guys.
Mm-hmm.
Barkley's going to come back. That offense looks better. They still lack a number one. Waller's going to be the number one, but like it's still nice to have a number one tight end with a number one receiver.
Yeah,
that's what teams like that can make our deep run really have. I thought, besides you guys getting Rodgers, obviously, do you think Zeke's career is over?
Definitely not over, but
his time as a starter, is his time as a lead back over?
Yeah, I think even if like he's the quote unquote starter, I think he's going to be sharing a lot of the snaps. But that caught me off guard because Zeke kind of seemed like a Cowboy for lifer.
Yeah, and I mean the way they talk about him, like they always are such reverence for how he like carries himself and does all that around the like facility.
Yeah. And plus, Pollard when he had like a high, like he's better like 15 in snaps below. I mean 15 carries and below. I think he was really good. So if they're about to make him the number one, I think they got somebody else.
The problem is like it's hard to keep having a guy flash like Pollard does and just keep having him not be your starter.
Yeah.
So I understand, and didn't they also gave Pollard an extension? So it's kind of like you got to make that decision, and they finally made the decision. We still have no word on any of the running backs besides Montgomery. Do you think Henry gets moved at this point?
I think if they do move him, they're going to go to like a full scale rebuild, and I'm not sure they're going to do that because I guess in their head they were like we were a strip sack away from the playoffs.
Yeah.
So I think they're still going to try to run it.
And then Austin Eckler decided he wanted to trade this week.
Oh, that's
interesting news because Eckler is a touchdown machine.
Mm-hmm.
He's not a dependable runner per se, but he can catch the ball and he's good. He's good at scoring. He can score in a lot of ways, but if you need 3 yards, he'll get you 2. Like that's the kind of runner he is, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm.
He's a hell of a back. Where do you see him ending up anywhere different after he requested a trade?
Yeah, because he's asking for like a lot of money, right?
He wants a contract. He wants a bigger contract. Yes.
Yeah, for like running back standards. Yeah, they're probably going to move him because unfortunately for running backs, they're like quote unquote expendable.
Right.
So yeah, I think he's going to get moved.
All right. That's really it for the NFL. I mean, we're getting towards the draft. We're in free agency. Things are kind of moving along. We'll have probably more news next week after another week of moves. Let's get into the association. Kenzie, we're recording this on Friday. Our teams play tonight. You guys are currently out of the 10th seed. Do you have anything to say about some of your crazy comments you've made recently because your guys suck? I'm
starting to think we probably might not make the Eastern Conference Finals.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure about that until you just told me. So continue.
I still believe because I think like our top 3 and Bill Kuzma and KP, I think when they're on their game, we scare anybody outside of the Bucks or Boston. It's just I don't know what it is sometimes, man. We're not bad. Trust me, we're not bad. We're just inconsistent. That's all there is to it. But like the season isn't over yet. I think we're not reaching that 6th seed. I think that's gone. But
it was gone last week when you said it.
I think we're without a doubt. There's no doubt in my mind we're making the play-in, and then we're gonna be like 8th or 7th. But there's no doubt in my mind that we're making the playoffs.
All right. As of right now, you guys are 5 games under 500. You've got 13 games left.
Oh my God.
You are actually, I was wrong. You are a half game ahead of Indiana and Chicago for the 10th seed. You guys are half a game ahead of those two teams. If you lose to Cleveland tonight, Pretty big game for you guys. Pretty important game.
I mean,
so
I believe in us. I think if you're ranking the top 3 players, you could argue we got the 2 best, but move on.
What? Okay. Again, like it's crazy to me that you think those guys are that good when you're 5 games under 500.
It happens, man. It happens.
All right. Let's get into this. I can't believe you said that. All right. We're going to rank our top 5 small forwards right now. Kenzie, let's hear your top 5 right now.
We're counting like KD and what's his name, Tatum up small forwards, right? Like in this instance.
Yeah. Yeah.
Damn, it's tough because there's a lot. I have the top 4. It's the order that's the problem. Because my top 4 is definitely like a Tatum, KD, Kawhi, Bron. It's the order that's tough.
Yeah.
Number 1 for this season at least, I'll go Tatum.
Okay.
Number 2 and 3, I can't separate them, at least for right now. I think 2 and 3 right now is Kawhi, KD.
Okay.
And then 4, I would have Bron. 5, who even still quote unquote plays the 5 at this point? 5. I know I'm missing a key name. As soon as you say something, it's going to snap to me.
I mean, like, I don't know. Do you consider Paul George a 2 or a 3?
Yeah, that's something I was thinking. Like, I was thinking like Jimmy. I was thinking Paul George, but like those are just.
Well, after the way you've talked about Jimmy recently, I just think.
I mean, like I would have him above like certain small forwards. He just when it comes to that shooting guard list, there's a lot of steppers over there. Oh, Ingram. I have Ingram 5th. Over Jimmy, yes.
Based on this year.
Well, when he plays, he's good. When he plays, ain't he like 24?
They've been terrible with him playing.
Oh,
absolutely terrible.
That's
Do you want to get into the Pelicans' rise and fall with led by CJ and Brandon Ingram?
That's not CJ's fault.
Did you know that CJ McCollum has over 25 games of shooting under 40% this year?
When you go bucket, sometimes
you're not a bucket. That's not what that means. That means the exact opposite, actually.
When you a bucket, sometimes
that actually means the exact opposite.
Make a miss league, man. It's a make a miss league.
And he's a misser.
Hey, man,
he builds more houses than. It doesn't matter. Okay, so your top 5 was. Let's make it official. Who you got?
I had Tatum, KD, Kawhi,
LeBron, Ingram. That's disgusting. Okay, my top 5 this year is going to be Tatum at 1, Durant at 2, LeBron at 3, Kawhi, and then I have. I kind of wanted Wiggins to be on there, but he got hurt.
Yeah, that's somebody else I was thinking of. I was like, we didn't see him playing like 2 months, so I can't do that.
But I'm gonna give it to Jimmy at 5 because he's, when you look at it, he's still working Miami. They're still in the playoffs, and he still gets it done on it's not every night, but when he's good, he's really good. And I just don't think Brandon Ingram, like the way they've fallen apart, there's no way you can give him that 5.
Injuries. Not only Zion, but Jose been missing games.
Yeah, I would hate for them to miss that 3 points a game.
Elite defense.
All right, let's get into the next one. What is your favorite current playoff matchup? We'll do the 1 through 6 because obviously we 7, 8, 9, 10 have to shake out still. So your favorite matchups in the 1 through 6 area.
It was because the Warriors fell to 7th.
No, they're 6th right now.
6. Oh yeah, that's the. I guess Warriors Grizzlies is a 3rd, right?
Yeah, Warriors Grizzlies.
So that would be my pick for the West because obviously not only to the rematch.
Okay, but I'm talking about overall. What's your overall favorite? Is that better than another potential matchup?
No, the overall favorite it has to be Cavs Knicks.
Cavs and Knicks. Yeah. and that they're actually separated in the 4 and 5 seed by 2.5 games right now. That's really close between them two. That should be a hell of a series. Like getting to go from Cleveland, where they have a really good crowd, and then getting into New York.
Yeah, that's
seeing like potentially like a playoff Mitchell in the Garden.
Yeah. That's going to be one of those series where you got to turn your volume up to like 15 just to hear the environment.
Bang! Like I just can't wait. I want us to stay at the 4 seed, and I want you guys to stay at the 5 seed for playoff advantage, obviously. But like, I want that matchup really bad because we're the team to get the Knicks out of there. When I come to New York, it's going to be a parade.
Is Mitchell ready for those Knicks defense checks? In the playoffs?
Are the Knicks ready to play playoff defense?
That's going to be serious.
In the West, like you said, Phoenix and the Clippers, though. Phoenix and the Clippers.
That's going to be one of the
with Durant back, we get Booker versus Paul George, Kawhi versus Durant,
Russ CP3. What? You don't like that?
I would have said Zubac versus Ayton.
That's insanity.
Okogie versus Robert Covington. No, I'm just saying like that game, like that is a matchup right there that is like must see TV because that's just hella good player matchups right there. Good defensive players versus good offensive players. Like
that's gonna be a great series.
I'm really ready for that.
Yeah. Now these players, there's so many matchups, man.
Like both the East and the West have really good 4 versus 5 matchups right now. Like I wish the season was almost over so we could get to these games right now.
Yeah. And like even whoever the Nuggets play first, like the Nuggets might draw the Mavs, they might draw the Lakers. That's going to be a great series.
Lakers are currently tied for the 9th or the 10th seed. They and OKC are both tied for the 10th.
I'm gonna assume they're going to win tonight because I know there's no Kyrie. I also think there's no Luka.
Well, I don't know what Dallas is going to do because without those guys haven't been playing and they've been terrible. I understand they're terrible because their 2 best guys aren't playing, but like, when are they going to when are they coming back? Because it's getting down to the nitty gritty for them.
It's kind of go time.
They got 12 games left, and you're sitting at the 8th seed. You're 1 game ahead of OKC and the Lakers. Like it's really time to get going.
Mm-hmm.
We touched on this a little bit before, but like, shout out to Sacramento, man.
Yeah, I definitely
shout out to Sacramento. They're just tough. Like Fox is so good in the clutch. Mike Brown is coaching his ass off. Sabonis is really good. I mean, just they got a good bench.
It's crazy how much Fox went under the radar because like when he came in, like you still had like the Walls and Russes, so like they were still like the face of like the athletic super fast guards.
Yeah.
And then I think like a year, like 2 years after Fox or 1 year was like Ja, and like he was the new face of like the athletic guard. So people were just sleeping on Fox with like 24 and 6, and like he's probably one of the most underrated guards in the league.
For sure. They got 6 guys scoring over 11.5 points.
Yeah,
they've got a good bench. They've got good starters. Harrison Barnes is one of the more underrated small forwards in the league now.
Yeah.
Like for a while there, he got to the point where he's probably overrated, and now he's to the point where he's an underrated, consistent guy. Kevin Huerter's a really good a shooting guard for a good team.
Yeah.
I don't think they can make it to the Western Conference Finals, but I think they're going to be a really hard out for anybody.
If the Mavs do make the playoffs and they get the Mavs round 1, no game is going to be under 110.
Oh God, no! Why would they?
No game.
Defense is so optional in that situation. Well, Kenzie, we didn't have a lot today.
And have you been betting on Sabonis lately? Like, when did he become Magic Johnson? I bet under 7.5, and he had that at like halftime.
But he's averaging over 7 assists a game.
I could have. That must be an uptick.
He's literally the Charmeleon to Jokic's Charizard. Like it's the perfect thing.
Like I bet his under twice this past week, and he destroyed me. But yeah.
So really, only bets I make anymore are money lines and like players to score 20 points because I get my ass kicked when I go.
Yeah, I just do money lines and like certain combos because that some of that other stuff is just.
Yeah, and the odds like they're never great for like the things that are going to happen. So it's you're just not making any money. Kenzie, we had a short episode. I think we had a fun episode. That intro was electric. People are going to be clamoring for that. have you made us a TikTok yet?
Oh yeah. I made it. I have to go to Twitter to find like the profile picture to put as the Twitter the TikTok profile picture. Okay. But yeah, I made it.
All right, guys. So as of now, like and subscribe on YouTube. Hit us up on Twitter. We are on Instagram, and now we are officially on TikTok. We are going to be posting on all those places. We are trying to grow this as much as we can. Don't forget to check out HOA MMA. They dropped an episode earlier today also. Guys, thank you for your support. Champ, what do you got anything else for him?
The champ is here, y'all. The champ is here.
The Staten Stumper has spoken. Thank you, guys. Have a good rest of your day.